The first and foremost obligation of our graduate school is to provide a first-class education for our graduate students in a wide range of public policy disciplines. Public policy and public affairs, gerontology, international relations and conflict resolution, and increasingly getting into global policy affairs. That's done mostly by the virtue and assets of our faculty. The faculty has grown from, in the 4 years I've been here, from 8 full-time tenure-track faculty to 22. They come from very distinguished schools, UMass Amherst, Brown University, Syracuse, Carnegie Mellon, and they represent a broad range of interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary focuses, environmental policy, health policy, all kinds of urban issues. And finally, they're represented, as our student body is, by their diversity. Our faculty come from foreign countries, come from different ethnicities and races, and all are focused on the delivery of an interdisciplinary public policy study with a couple of special features. First of all, we do tend to have a focus on training and educating practitioners in the public policy world. We train people who run aging facilities. We train senior policymakers in a variety of areas, environmental policy, state administration, certainly aging issues. And we do have a sort of a predisposition and a special expertise in training and educating practitioners of public policy. But we also train academics. And obviously our faculty are principally academics, and we do adhere to the rigors of academic preparation, but we do have a predisposition for the training of practitioners. In addition, although we look at the academic issues with an intense rigor and objectivity, we do look at our studies through a prism which understands that there are inequities that are inherent in our own system and in the systems abroad. And it's our job, we believe, to use the tools of public policy study to address and evaluate and understand those inequities. So those are two major kind of focuses of our academics that make our academics distinctive and outstanding. We ask a lot of our students in the way that any quality graduate school does. You know, we certainly insist on absolute adherence to academic integrity. We certainly insist on strong academic performance from our faculty. But we also encourage our students and our faculty to be involved in actual public policy issues as well as to study just the academic perspective on public policy issues. So our faculty and our students both have a premium put on their ability to translate their academic learning and their academic performance into the real world of public policy. And that's a distinguishing feature too, I think, of what we offer our students. There are a lot of virtues and competitive advantages to the McCormack Graduate School of Policy Studies at UMass Boston. For one thing, we are the public urban university, the public university in the Boston area. That means we are competitively priced. We're here for the purpose of offering an education to people who can't afford more expensive educations. But they get that education from a faculty which is distinguished as any faculty in the Boston area, and in an environment that has grown out of a teaching environment where we emphasize and specialize small classes, we emphasize and specialize flexibility in the offerings in our master's programs in particular, but also our PhD programs where we can provide part-time and various kinds of adapted situations for different kinds of professionals. Our students are all the way from just out of college, some, to mature professionals well into their 40s and sometimes 50s in our PhD programs. So there's a tremendous diversity in our student body, And part of our job is to adapt our offerings to serve that diverse student body. So that's an asset that we offer, and it's also a tremendous asset, I think, to our students to have that kind of diversity amongst their peers. One of the, if I were a student looking for a graduate school in public policy, one of the things I'd want to know about the McCormack Graduate School is that many of our programs use a cohort model. All or virtually all of the classes are taken together with all of the students. So not only do you get the education, but you have the experience of getting to know well and working with your partners so that for 2 years in the case of the master's programs. So you build up a long-term relationship with these peers who become your friends and professional associates for a long, long time. That's part of building a network, particularly in our public policy area where we do a lot of work with people from state and local government programs. We are building the network of people in state and local government in Massachusetts, which is a tremendous part of a career consideration if you're planning on staying in this community. We also design our master's programs primarily as mid-career programs. That is, we expect students, most of our students will be working, so the classes are in the evening or on the weekends, so that students can keep their jobs going and manage their families while they're getting a graduate degree education. And the final point I would make to a student who's considering us is that our classes are almost universally taught by tenured track faculty. There are almost no adjunct faculty, no graduate student teaching. It's all done by tenure track faculty, which is where the greatest expertise is and the greatest ability to advance the learning in our students. So those are the kinds of things that I think students ought to be thinking about when they're considering McCormack Graduate School.